Hello. I just made an Instagram post, so I thought I'd come on and do a chat about it on my YouTube about how every single prep is different. So I've done 3 preps now. I'll try and include some pictures and videos. So my first ever prep, I started off like I was already exercising quite well, but my diet was a bit all over the place. So I did have quite a bit of weight to lose. This was back in 2017 or something like that. So I started just on like a weight loss journey, and so I fully locked in and committed October 2017, and then I competed August 2018. In this time frame, my calories never went under 1650 my a day. My carbs were like reasonable, and my cardio, I think there was possibly 1 or 2 weeks that it went up to 60 minutes a day, but other than that, it was 30 minutes a day. I had times where I felt hungry, but it was actually an enjoyable prep, an easy prep, a slow and steady weight loss prep. And one thing I want to say is I had a really easy full-time job, as in like I could fit the gym around it, and I had no life stress, no like real responsibilities, really great relationship. So it was like an easy, enjoyable prep. That show I did was Two Bros in Coventry. It was quite a busy show. It was a pro qualifier. This was back in the day before you had to do a regional, before you did a pro qualifier. Quite a good level like of standard of athletes, and I came away with 2 medals. So that was brilliant. I went straight into off season, and I kept my off season very, very controlled. I didn't have any of like the post show binges that a lot of people have, and I just cracked on. I wanted to make improvements. I thought because I'd been so controlled with my food that come my next prep, I was quite naive thinking it would be easier maybe than my first prep or similar. And because I only probably gained maybe 11 or 12 pounds, um, we started prep then in about February 2019, and my next show was June 2019. So it was maybe like a 16 or 20 week prep, and only had 12 pounds to lose. So you'd think easy peasy. My weight would not shift. No matter what I was doing, it did not want to come off. So I found this prep a lot harder. It got to a point where we were 8 weeks out, and we had to go keto, which means no carbs at all. And I think the lowest my calories went was maybe like 1,100, which I is low for me, very low. My cardio some days was like 90 minutes to 2 hours. Like this prep was hard. It was not as enjoyable. It was testing me to my limits, but I wanted to get on stage. I was really proud of making it to stage, and I do think I bought a better package than the year before. However, this time I chose to do Amateur Olympia in Alicante, and I was very much out of my depth. I did know this, like my coach is very honest, and she wouldn't ever put you in a show and be like bigging you up saying, yeah, you're going to turn pro, and like she's very realistic and honest with you. So I knew that, and I just really wanted to compete abroad internationally. And sometimes I think it's a really good thing to put yourself in a lineup. Like this was a pro qualifier where girls, there was a chance of 3 pro cards. So like pretty much all the girls there were on the cusp of turning pro. And then there was little amateur me. So it was a bit of backstage, was a bit of a shock to the system, as in, oh, what have I done kind of thing. But I still managed to came fourth in novice, which I was really proud of. And I think it was such a busy show. I think there was maybe like 38 girls. I think I came like 23rd. So I was still impressed with that. Then I was all set to go back into my off season. I knew that I needed to grow some more to be competitive, and I fell pregnant. That was me thinking, I don't think I'll compete again now. And then obviously the fit model category came into play. And I was like, I'd love to like have a shot at that. So this prep again has been very different. I'd say it's been more similar to my first prep because again, I was coming from a place where I had a lot of weight to lose. I think I ended up losing like 25-30 pounds. Again, we started a slow weight loss journey in August 2025 and I competed March 2026. So it was like slow and steady, but obviously a long time in a deficit, but just slow and steady, no like drastic extreme measures. I think the lowest my calories went was 1,400, and this time was different. We didn't really do cardio as such. We had a step goal. So on average, I was doing maybe 22,000 steps a day, but it was more like low intense, not like hours on the Stairmaster or elliptical, like killing myself. No, like high intensity interval training. So again, my life situation has been different this prep as well. So it's the first time me prepping as a mum, which does bring, I'm not saying that my child is stressful, love him to bits, but once you're a parent, you realize like you have different life stresses, if that makes sense. Like the hardest thing for me was childcare, because obviously we don't have any family or friends that help with childcare, and my partner works away a lot. So we've had like Easter holidays, it was a 2-week break, like February half term, like other holidays. And if my partner's working away and we've got no friends or family to help with childcare, I tell a lie, I've got a nice neighbour who helps sometimes. It meant like logistically it was hard for me to get to the gym. I've never experienced that before, because in my other preps, even if I was working like 12-15 hour days, I could stay up till 1 a.m. doing cardio if I really had to. I could stay up and do my meal prep. I would tick every single box. Whereas when you physically can't get to the gym because of your child, like childcare situation, it's different. Also like the logistics of competing and having a child and like school and stuff like that made it a bit harder. But in general, I had more time because obviously my child goes to school in the day. So it swings and roundabouts. But yeah, my calories didn't have to drop that low. So this show, it was the first one of the season. It was a two-bro show in the UK again. Very, very, very quiet show, like the quietest and quickest show I've ever done. I managed to get 2 medals, which I'm very proud of. But even though I got 2 medals, I was technically last in both my categories, just because the numbers were so small. So I am going again in July, because I want to be in a bigger lineup and see like where do I truly stand. So this is like kind of like, I don't feel like it's a separate prep because I feel like I never came out of prep from the March show, but this is still different again because obviously I can't stay stage lean from March to July. It's a long time, right? So I'm having to increase my carbs, decrease cardio, fill out a bit, and then we'll see what happens. So this is again another different kind of prep. So why I wanted to do this video was just for like anybody who is in their first time of prep, or maybe even their second time, and wondering like, what have I done wrong, or why is it so much harder? I think like your body just adapts, and sometimes you'll have an easier prep, sometimes you'll have a harder prep, sometimes you'll have harder stuff going on in your life. Sometimes it might be work related. You might have work deadlines, work stresses. You might have relationship drama, family drama, like parents to care for, children to care for. So it's always going to be different. And again, the results at every single show are going to be different, because you could have had the best prep of your life and looked the best you've looked. Like my last show, I definitely looked the best I've ever looked in my competing journey. But even though I got 2 medals, technically, maybe that was my worst placing because I was technically last, even though I got a 2nd place medal and I've never done that before. It just depends on the level of show you pick, who turns up, that kind of thing. So I think the important thing to remember is you need to really enjoy the process, and you need to really enjoy the journey and enjoy prep, rather than focusing on the outcome. And the medals are just a bonus, and just bring your best package you can every single time, and realize it's nothing you're doing wrong. It's just your body is adapting sometimes, and that's what it's meant to do. And no prep will be the same, and every single prep will teach you different lessons. So yeah, that is my 2 bits on that.